Just mixing it up a little bit here. Welcome back to the KSL.
We're going to mix it up in other ways. We're going to have a Terran player play.
A what?
A Terran player.
Oh, you mean the humans, the humans.
They are on the endangered species list right now.
That's right. Protoss, in the end, I guess it made sense that they would dominate everything. They were the futuristic aliens. It would not have been a bunch of animal-like insects. It would not be the humans. Protoss have been killing it, but there is one Terran hope today. Now, I do think this will probably be another Protoss moving on, I think.
Well,
Rain
recently
is...
when they played, I mean, Sharp can beat Rain, but
he can,
I feel like a lot of his victories in the past have been Vultures getting in and getting lots of probes.
He wins in a lot of tactical plays. He wins off of a lot of finesse. It's generally not some incredible overarching strategy. He's just very good at engagements.
Yeah, that's certainly true. He's a very scrappy Terran in a lot of ways. He grew up as an aggressive Terran, but he's actually filled in his play at this point. He's very good at kind of all the aspects. He's not someone like a Last or a Flash who is necessarily just going to nail the macro so perfectly that you just die. That's not his style. But it doesn't mean that he can't be effective. If you give him any sort of he can get a lot of damage done.
Yeah, the problem is that Rain is looking like the end-all of Protoss right now. I mean, this guy is so strong. He really has such a grasp on the race in general that it's kind of crazy. Now, this is, of course, paired with Stork, who on the other side of the bracket is out of nowhere killing everybody. We got a quick video, then we're going to go into our match.
기석이가 요새 폼이 되게 올라왔다고 생각을 해가지고 엄청 준비를 열심히 해야 될 것 같아요. 그리고 제가 기석이한테 대회 때 많이 져가지고 꼭 이번에는 복수를 하고 4강에 올라가도록 하겠습니다. 시즌 1, 2, 3 하면서 시즌 3 16강이 제일 힘들 거라고 생각을 했었는데 그래도 16강에서 1위로 진출을 해가지고 정말 다행인 것 같고 16강을 뚫었으니까 꼭 우승할 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
제가 시즌 1 때는 8강 갔었고 또 시즌 2 때는 준우승을 했었는데 이제는 남은 거는 4강이 아니라 우승밖에 없거든요. 지금 프로토스 중에 정말 최고로 잘하는 선수다 보니까 윤종이보다는 더 노력을 해야 될 것 같아요, 이번 경기는. 그래서 이번에는 꼭 KS 시즌 3에서 우승자 조기석이 될 수 있도록 제가 보여드리겠습니다.
Welcome back to the KSL. What am I talking about? We just had back from a commercial. We had a little video there. Went on autopilot. Sorry, everybody. I'm not as good as I'm supposed to be. First out comes Rain.
What?
I'm in a giddy mood today.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
really
it's those Dark Archons. And Sharp. Now, again, nothing against Sharp. It just seems like Rain should come out on top, although Sharp has been steadily improving. And the thing is, it's hard to not root for Sharp. He's got so much charisma. You know, he really, you can see he puts his heart into it. But Rain is such a veteran at this point in time. At periods, this was one of the best StarCraft 2 players of all time. Now he's back in StarCraft 1, a champion of the ASL. He may become the champion of the KSL here in this league.
Yeah, it's really looking promising to him. Sharp is probably his biggest obstacle, to be honest. His PvP win rate is astronomical. Look at that, 84.6% in that matchup. So, Rain is the best Protoss in the world right now. One of the best players in the world right now. And, yeah, it's going to be a hard one for Sharp to knock him down again.
By the way, a very different approach to Protoss compared to, like, Snow or Stork. But a very effective way of playing it as well. Now, Sharp is also, I think, among all the Terrans we have, probably the most unique. Would you agree with that? He really looks different when he plays compared to Last or Flash or any of these
Last
guys.
and Flash have a very similar style, whereas Sharp, he is one of the more aggressive Terrans. Yeah, I guess when you start to, like, for mechanical Terrans, we have Flash and Last, and Mong, I would say, is mechanical, and Light is mechanical.
Yeah.
he's on the very aggressive side. Or the thing is, I don't want to box him as that. He was very aggressive before. He has a much wider area of play now, but you won't see like just a perfect macro game out of him because he'll choose to do other things which can be more valuable or less valuable than nailing your macro perfectly.
I do feel that if we see a win from Sharp, it's going to happen in the early game. If we get a win from Rain, it's either early game or late game. I think that Rain is too strong in a drawn-out macro PvT. Would you agree with that?
He is very strong in that way, but Sharp, if it is a big macro game that's also scrappy, because there's two types of macro games. One's where the Terran's sitting back and just macroing and coming out and punching really hard, and then there's ones where there's consistent skirmishes all over the place and attacks, but they get very big with lots of supply as well. Those games he's extremely good at. So if it's a game where both of them are consistently doing damage to each other but yet still growing, that's a situation where I think Sharp might actually be a little favored against Rain.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's more of the you're kind of trapped in your base for a little bit, get your upgrades and go out, that's where I think Rain is going to shine.
Yeah. It should be noted here, we've got a lot of new approaches from Terran in this matchup in general.
Sure.
We've seen a lot of Terrans trying to sneak out expansions right away. We already saw many really exploit that with the little mind games of what you hide. I think we're actually going to go right into this game. There we go. Can't start without the music, Artosis. We've seen Protosses, by the way, going for Reavers quite a bit here. A lot of Gateway Carrier Tech Arbiters are not as trendy as they used to be.
Yeah, on this tournament so far. Kind of interesting to see that. All right, so we have Rain over on the right-hand side of Medusa, and down at the bottom, we have Sharp.
So, on this map, we've actually had so many good games.
Yeah.
We really have.
Bad maps are good maps.
Yeah, bad maps make for fun games. And sad pros.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tough map for TVP, but the thing is that even if a map is tough in a matchup, when you just have to play it once, no problem. Your brother had some really great quote about that a long time ago, about how, like, it's me, Rain. Whoa. I like how he has to write who it is because he knows how bad his artwork is. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying my brother Day9. Yeah.
Yeah. He had some very good quote that I really liked, and I've quoted so many times, but now I forget exactly what it was. But the gist of it was, it doesn't matter how quote unquote imbalanced a map is for one game. Yeah. If you're playing a game once, it's like, yeah, your win rate overall, you play Medusa for 1,000 games, you might, you know, especially if you're playing against similar players, you're eventually going to have a losing rate there, right? If they're equal skill and it's imbalanced in one way. But if it's like one game here where it matters, oh man, the world is your oyster. Sharp can do anything he wants this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is where we would have, I mean, there's many ways to say it, but gimmick strats come into play. I'm going to do this strat just this one time.
Yeah.
Something like floating a factory in your main, your opponent's main, and, you know.
Pop a Vulture, do a drop. You can do a bio build. You can do anything you want.
Yeah. I mean,
for one game?
One game?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's totally fine.
Yeah. It's like you can't base your whole career playing like that, but if you need it in a situation like this, no problem.
So now we want to see what build is Sharp going to do. We're watching the SCVs on the gas because if he's going to make a quick expand, he'll pull those SCVs off of gas after the factory starts. Just he'll have one on gas, I should say. Otherwise, if he stays on there,
no,
nope, pulled one off.
Okay. You know, this is an interesting matchup a lot of the time because either player can take the initiative. It's a little bit more common to see Protoss take the initiative.
Or at least it was.
It still is, I would say.
Yeah.
But, you know, Terran can, absolutely. And if you don't mix in taking the initiative and doing something a little bit more aggressive, whether that's like a drop ship, even, you know, something more laid back like an expansion into two factories for some pressure.
He's going to glitch a Zealot up the ramp.
Oh, cute
okay,
play.
This is... Oh!
He sees exactly what was going on.
He's going to try again. Go. Can he do it, though?
That's super funny.
Oh, please, can we watch the Zealot? I really need to know.
No, he's not making it that time.
All right, so he tried, anyways. Now, remember, Marines are basically... a lone Marine is the worst unit in the game.
Yeah, one Marine's pretty weak.
Yeah. So he used the pylon trick to glitch a probe up onto the high ground, so this way he can confirm what exactly is going on here. Is there any cheese where you can build something up there?
No,
I guess not.
At this point.
No.
Like, if Terran doesn't look up there, I guess you could do something silly, like cannons or something, but that shouldn't work at the pro level. Absolutely not. So it gets that free Zealot kill, which is really, really nice. Oh my god, did he make a pylon tasteless?
Yeah, he's going to make a gateway.
He's going to make a gateway and go
No,
DT.
that's actually why he sent the Zealot in there, is to make it look like the Zealot really wanted to scout, and therefore he's not going to check for this. So there's actually going to be a DT rush.
That's
up
actually a really good call.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right on what that was. He sacked the Zealot purposefully.
Yeah.
So that it was like, yeah, I just want to see, are you expanding? Like, this is what I was trying to glitch it for. The failed glitches and everything, that's actually brilliant. You're never going to lay mines
This is
back
like
there. Holy God.
such a brainy play.
What the hell?
This is, I am actually...
The mind
to set
game is
off-
too strong.
Yeah, this is like the great strategic minds of the world, guys. It's right here in StarCraft. This is so beautifully masked.
This is ridiculous.
Now look at this. And so this is like, out of nowhere, there's going to be DTs in the base.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, so sees the
Oh
probe
my
coming.
God.
Is he going to scout it? Oh my God, and he scouts it.
Wow.
He's going to send units to the front, so I don't think he's even going to cancel.
I don't think he should have sent that probe out at all.
No, I think it was coming anyways. Okay, I love that he's building extra pylons. Sharp actually, I think, knows now what's going on. When you
No, he
see
knows.
these extra pylons, it has to be DTs.
Yeah. Oh my god, the Dragoons are attacking in the front and they take the tank out!
Yeah, that was a strong...
Whoa! What? It's like the bunker stopped, and it's like, wait, we've got range.
Wait,
Just
are
shot
we...
down.
Do we have
Do we have
range?
range? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so this has been just the craziest set of mind games so far. Rain did a lot of things really intelligently here, and then Sharp just kind of scouts. He has an engineering bay now, so this should be... Oh my god. This should be a kind of easy game from here for Sharp, to be honest.
I think so. Unless Protoss can will their way through this, I don't believe it. The fact that this Vulture's up here, this is like a nightmare here. Oh, no, it's not. He's fine. Okay, so he needs to send one through.
Are they stuck? Oh
No.
my.
You're kidding me.
That's so funny.
Well, he thought
So they are
almost
actually...
everything.
They are bigger than an SCV, apparently. Because the SCVs could get back there.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
StarCraft doesn't make any sense. Why would the SCVs be able to get back there, but the DT...
They are different sizes, actually.
Yeah.
Like, this takes up 2 spots in a shuttle. SCV takes up 1. That doesn't always mean everything, but a lot of it's graphical as well. Like, the Ghost is smaller than the Marine, even though 8 fit in a dropship.
Okay, does he make a Zealot out of that? Oh, look at this.
Oh, that's funny.
This game.
What am I seeing?
What is going on?
This is an amazing game.
Yeah.
And now the DTs are just going to wreck these Vultures. Watch this. Oh, come on.
Oh my god. How is that not set off?
It's out of range.
Look at this. Oh!
Oops.
All right, guys, it's a matter of time now before Sharp is going to barrel across the map and kill Rain here.
Well, he needs more than 1 factory, and he doesn't have it, so, you know.
That was that matter of time, Artosis.
Yeah.
Because it's coming. Protoss is just now expanding.
He's definitely not in a good spot, but he's doing his damnedest to get something done.
Look at this funny strategy. He just comes out and says, well, I can hit the high ground with Dragoons now. My whole goal was to actually surprise you and win with DTs, but...
You know what's funny, though, is he... Oh, he did get Siege. Okay.
Yeah,
Because if you don't get Siege here, then the Goon can back up and he can build another Goon, and then the 2 Goons on high ground will wreck a tank without Siege on low. Like, wreck it. 1 might anyways.
Okay, so a Robo Bay coming here.
Okay.
He might even try to throw a shuttle in here and pick up the DTs.
Oh, yeah. Ferry him right out. No
Yeah.
problem.
You could use that to slow down pushes, too. Especially on maps where you can't build in the middle. DTs in a shuttle, you can just drop them. If they scan, you pick them back up. Wait for the scan to expire. And, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, if someone's doing that, you're definitely going to have to make a few Goliaths. So just kind of scouting what's up here. It's now 3 goons and a couple DTs. Most of Rain's army. Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't know for sure there's a mine there. This is one of these things for Protoss. If you're a top-tier Protoss player, you're probably really good at just having that stored in your memory where the mines are planted.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to be really on top of that, you know.
Wow, look at this. A starport actually on the way.
Yeah.
That's really, really good for Sharp. He does like starport play, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very good on this map also.
We've also seen blind starport play where they just say, look, I know you're going to send
well, now
something out here.
Especially knows as the Reaver Tech is blocking here. But look at this. This is actually, swear to God, go back, watch all the VODs of Sharp versus Rain. Everyone, I'm like, what Rain needs to do to beat Sharp is put a pylon in his wall.
Yeah.
Because that is how Sharp kills you, is he gets vultures in, but a good block there by Rain. Now, not saying he's going to win because of that, because I definitely think that Sharp had a better opener, but Rain is good at coming back. He's putting up quite a good fight right now. Look at that, 4 goons up here. Sharp thinks he can clear 4 goons with 3 vultures. What universe are you from?
Completely out of control. That's all I got to say, Artosis.
Yeah, completely.
I think Shuttle Speed might finish here in a second. Now, the DTs, are they dead now? The 2 DTs?
Oh, I don't know.
I wasn't actually looking. Did he kill those?
Oh, I'm not sure. This is StarCraft 1. The DTs don't come back as stalkers, so that's really sad, actually.
So the shuttle's continuing to roam here.
Oh, here comes the Wraith. Get out of here.
Wow, well that is another practically fatal blow here to lose your shuttle and your Reaver like that for nothing.
Oh my God, he kills the Reaver in seconds. It does nothing.
Well, now I think a push is going to be inbound, right?
He still doesn't have a lot of facts. I think you wait a little bit longer, to be honest. Maybe do some dropship harassment now.
Really?
He could actually even make a 3rd command and like just make a killer push. But yeah, like with 3 factories, you can't really push. If Protoss somehow holds on through some sort of finesse, like you're going to be in trouble. I think you just you power up a little bit more before going. This has been such a bizarre game, though. I think it's also a little bit hard to figure out where you're at.
Yeah, well, the math is very fuzzy in moments like this. So finally, this little outpost is going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Tempo-wise, it's definitely going to be going to Sharp here. And really, this all started when the gateways were actually scouted.
Yeah.
Had the gateways not been scouted, we probably would already be casting Game 2 right now.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move, too, truly. So here comes that dropship harassment. I think this is a fantastic move. I love the mines being laid in between as well. Look at this, he even pokes the front. And he shows the dropship, which is the part I don't like, but the rest of it was, I like the other moves.
A dropship can be really troublesome for the Protoss. You know, it's hard. Dragoons are clunky units. They're very strong, but they're hard to get around. And so if you can just outposition the other player, you're going to be in good shape. By the way, I like the cannon up there. You know, it's such prime real estate. Oh, look at that. That's so funny. Second.
Well, that's how weird this game has been. That Rain just made that because he's like, I need Zealot legs. So he makes
a funny
Citadel.
thing is because you make the Citadel right away for the DT tech. Once the game starts to go into normal mode, sometimes the muscle memory in your brain will make you make a second Citadel.
Yeah. You're like, this is
because you're thinking that you don't have one to begin with because your Zealots don't have speed.
Indeed. Okay, so 3rd command center is on the way. Kind of as expected there. He's starting to move out. He's got to be a little bit careful. He doesn't have a huge army, but there's no Zealot legs.
Here's
the shuttle died already as well.
If he can't actually take a fight in the middle of the map, Protoss is just going to lose.
Yeah, because it looks like he's just done.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, there was a bunch of goons on top.
Where did those come from? Well, I don't know. I think even then, I think this is pretty bad, actually.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
He's losing a lot of units here.
Because the thing is, the siege tanks and siege mode can blow up the temples. Oh my god, another drop over here. Well, Rain is going to have to fight really hard to come back from this, and I don't even know if it's physically possible to fully recover and then win this game. I mean, this is basically what the end of a TVP looks like, is there's nothing at the entrance of the Protoss' natural.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of tanks and vultures barreling towards it.
He doesn't have quite enough units. If he had, like, a little bit more, then maybe he would have held on to this initial push, but now that it's in position, it gets a lot harder. The fact that a turret's going up makes it way stronger. Even one turret with a push like this really reinforces it quite a bit. Quite a few Goliaths coming out, probably just to stop any shuttle play. Yeah, I can't, like, to break through this is going to be a very tall order.
I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, the shuttle's not going to do anything either.
You know, Protoss, if they're not in an open area, they're just horrible against mech. And you can already see this bunkers being made. This is all to congest Dragoon movement to where these tanks are.
Yeah. All Sharp is even looking for is forcing the engagement, because he knows killing this natural nexus is probably just game.
It's a death sentence.
Yeah, so Rain is going to have to attack in.
He might just tap out even. All right, he's gonna try.
He will tap out, but it's after this.
Yeah.
After this attack where all his units die.
All right, it damaged the siege tank.
Yeah, everything going forward now.
GG.
All right.
Hey, great game by Sharp, but let's not forget, Rain, I think he had a really ingenious strategy that he wanted to bring here to start that game off, but it was scouted. I mean, if a strat like that is scouted, you're pretty much going to lose no matter what.
Well, Sharp was a good boy. He scouted everywhere and made sure that he wasn't going to get caught off guard, but that was such a brilliant move from Rain. That's the type of the move that can beat the best players in the world, absolutely. You won't necessarily scout everywhere every single game, right? And the way that he threw away the Zod, I think you're completely right on that. It was kind of showing that he really wanted to scout. And yeah, it was just, that was a smart move.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Problem, though, is he's down one game. It's a strategy like that you only bring out one time. I don't think we're going to see him do that again. I mean, everybody that's watched this would say, oh, wow. Okay, you could pull a fast one on even the very best player in the world with a strategy like that, but unfortunately for him, it didn't work. I think he should have kept the probe back.
Well, the SCV was coming regardless. I think
I don't know, man. I mean, he might have just been trying to make a depot up there, and then the probe is moving out. And he goes, what? Okay, because the moment you see the probe, you say, we have to check for buildings now. There's too much empty area up there.
Okay, that's fair.
We've got to look.
That's fair.
I think he should have kept it back. We're going to go to a break. We come back, game 2 in this best of 5.
지금 저그 6시로 러커드라 올 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야. 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무실 때 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 저 선수 한두 경기를 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 응? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자, 상대 안마당 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 지지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 파카닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렌 스톰.
간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어몽 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지. 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당에서 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
에이,
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용주.
쇼입니다 마니. 상대 선수 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱커 1번은 세주가 됐고 1번은 통통통통통통통. 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제.
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분도밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 미국으로 가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이겨요. 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
Welcome back, everyone. We just finished up Game 1 between Rain versus Sharp. Rain with a really beautiful strategy, but Sharp scouts it, and then the strategy is obviously a surprise DT rush in your base. G.I. Joe couldn't have said it better. Knowing is half the battle. It's actually knowing is the entire battle. You just know, and Novice can hold it. I thought Rain put up a pretty good fight despite being completely zoned out of what should have been a close game. But anyways, we're going to go to Game 2 now. This is the map that Rain picks. It's going to be Cross Game.
Yeah, Cross Game. This is definitely a map where there are a multitude of cheesy options for Protoss to try to execute upon Terran. But it's got some interesting things that I think are reasonably good for Sharp. Like, for instance, on this map, if you do claim your natural, you don't really need to dedicate too much to defense, so you can't get very harassment heavy. But at the same time, like, proxy gates are a real threat here. If you can get goons on that high ground, obviously that's very, very strong as well. Even 12 Nexus, really strong here.
We now go into game number 2. Let's see what strats these guys got in store for us as we continue on here at the KSL.
What if he just tries to make gates in his base again? Yep. Look at that.
Oh.
One of the first 4 probes.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
All right.
I am an agent of chaos.
This is going to be proxy gate Zealot.
We do not want macro builds.
Oh my gosh. All right. Rain.
Cheese. Anger. This is what we crave.
It's so true. But they say all that in alternating caps.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be at this mineral-only base, a pretty common place to make a proxy. But you're not as likely to scout there. It's a little bit further away, and it's not in the scout path going towards Protoss. Let's see what Sharp's building placement is going to look like. Okay. So that's going to be his defensive center. Sending this SCV out, a lot of times what you do here is check the natural, then sit and wait to see if a probe is coming to seal your gas.
Look at this.
He might not go all the way to the natural, though.
Map hacker.
Oh! Sees it coming, and he sees the gate. Okay, that's incredibly
All right, Tosis, now
important.
just run out there and start tickling Rain. This is what you got to do when these guys get their cheeses spotted.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to
2 more probes
You
coming.
want to win real bad, don't you?
Oh my God!
This is crazy. 2
He's bringing
probes
2
are
more
coming.
Probes. So this is pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay, so SCVs are being pulled. This must mean that he wants to kill the gate. You never go after the pylon because they can just build another one.
Yes.
You go after the gateway.
And 4 is the right number.
The fact that he sent 3 probes means that he should be able to keep the gate up, which means that these SCVs coming out is a big issue. This hurts Sharp quite a bit.
Look at this.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Real?
Real. Okay, so he can dance these just enough. Oh. Oh my God.
How does any Protoss in A keep their probe alive against me and then Rain loses his probe? You got 2,000 MMR, man. That probe ain't dying to Artosis SCVs. Mine attack just as fast as his, tasteless.
Here's the thing, the Zealot gets out now.
Yeah. Like, he spent a lot of economy trying to stop
Now,
that.
fortunately, the barracks finishes just before the Zealot gets there.
This is a little bit painful.
Problem is, the Zealot and Probe can beat basically everything unless you have a Marine perfectly covered behind SCVs.
Yeah, he has some a micro hole there, and you do have a lot of micro potential here with the SCVs and drilling. Ooh! Wow. He's losing a lot of mining time, don't forget. Every time you drill, you are losing mining time.
Oh,
He's
really
gonna
good,
get a hit on
tracing,
that.
really good tracing.
Yeah. Oh,
he's going to try to body block with the Probe. Zealot coming around the corner.
Oh! And now that he has this many units
Good
in the main
ship.
base, you can't really use
Oh
the
my
micro
God.
hole as well. It gets very, very difficult. You need the Zealot, the first Zealot, to be very low on health so you can actually finish it off. But here you can chase this Marine very strongly.
We are just barely on the brink of Terran dying here.
Yeah.
The problem is that the little micro slot where the Marine can take cover, it's far away from the SCVs that are mining here. Oh my God! And the third Zealot is still alive. The injured one in the back, the one that's got like 1 HP.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It's
This is too
really
much
shields.
damage.
Oh
It's
my
too
God.
much damage. That's it. That's it.
Do we even go to a commercial after this? What do we do? It's like, how does this work?
No, this is way too much damage. He's got so few SCVs. Look at the supply, 12 to 23.
Oh my God!
Rain's got
It's
more probes in.
It's so hard for Terran in this moment. I can't emphasize this enough. Like when you're trying to micro Marines against this.
Yeah.
GG.
All right.
All right.
So
Good.
like what
Destroy
Rain
the
did there,
macro
that was really, really beautiful, was sending the 2 extra probes.
That
was the special thing that he gave us here today.
Yeah, that was like the flavor.
Well, he like really identified what Sharp would want to do. Not every Terran will send SCVs to kill the gateway, especially when it's that far out. But if they do and they don't kill the gateway, the worst thing in the world is having a Zealot pop out in the before the gateway dies. Here, he didn't even have a chance to finish it off. So just lots of lost mining time for Sharp.
Never seen
Very
that before
difficult.
with the probes pulled out. It makes sense though, because 4 SCVs. By the way, Artosis is 100% right. That is the number that kills a gate before a Zealot comes out.
It matters how far away it is and stuff.
If,
But
if
yeah,
you spot it in time, 4, maybe 5 if it's a little bit further away. But the funny thing about it is that if you send 2 probes, then those SCVs that came out, that's wasted mining time. Excuse me. Crazy, and all you need is enough minerals to keep making Zealots continuously. We're going to go to a break. We come back, Game 3. Commercial longer than the game. We'll be right back.
지금 저그 6시로 러커 드랍 올 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야. 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무시는데
왜?
어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 저 선수 한두 경기로 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 응? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자, 상대 안마랑 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 질지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 파카닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어머, 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지. 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야, 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당해설 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
귀 빠지게.
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용준.
쇼입니다 마니. 상대 선수 프로브까지 통원합니다. 프로브까지 통원 탱커 1번은 센즈가 됐고 1번은 통통통통통통통. 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제.
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이 진리지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 미국으로 가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이겨요. 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
What's up, everybody? We're back, and we're ready for Game 3. We do not have any. We have not had a normal PvT yet.
These are completely normal, actually. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, this is every day for me.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I just want to do what I practice, and I can't.
He got tips from the people who beat me all the time, man, with these builds.
You're so funny.
God. Okay, so Fighting Spirit, our next map. Sharp's choice. I mean, if we're going to have a standard game, it definitely could be here. What do you have to say about that?
Or not.
Yeah,
No, I think you're right. We should have a more normal game here.
maybe.
It's interesting how Rain prepared here. Totally wanted to just completely play around anything ordinary.
Well, these builds are good. Good strategies from Rain. He's playing cheesy, but he can pull that back.
He absolutely can. He's got some of the best standard play from Protoss ever. We now go to Game 3. And we'll have standard play on the most standard of maps, Fighting Spirit.
So we have in the top, no, the bottom right, it's Rain. In the top right, Sharp.
The games are so crazy. Artosis doesn't know what's up and down.
Those minerals and gas are the same on those
Oh,
on
yeah.
that side. So
You play games on this map, and then
sometimes I put my buildings.
in
in
the
wrong
wrong
place.
spot. You're like, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to say what these guys are going to want to go for. Could be a 12 Nexus. Protoss is generally mix one of those in a series. It's an okay map for it. They're close enough spawns that especially if Sharp scouts to the south first, you should be able to stomp it though.
What great games we've had tonight, really.
Yeah.
So fun.
They are a very good game tonight. Interesting strats being used all over the place. I'd say a better night than last night.
Yeah, I agree. And last night was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rain this time around, Gateway first. We want to see when he scouts. No scout after Gateway. There are some Protoss versus Terran styles where you scout very, very, very late.
Yeah. It's some people scout with a Zealot even or a Goon.
Yeah.
That's always really weird, but it happens. You're not really
I've messed
too
around
afraid
with
of
that,
anything
but
coming. You get it helps your economy quite a bit.
Yeah, I find it just a very uncomfortable feeling just not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah,
But I guess if
but
you're
the
really
Terran
practiced.
can always hide what they're doing anyways. You know,
That's true. And if
like
you're
they
kinda
get a
going for
Marine out, and it's like if they're going to two-fact, it's not like scouting's going to reveal that. Not well. It might give you some hints, but
Yeah, and if you're going to survive a 2-fact while expanding, not scouting is actually probably the one that's going to be most likely to work.
yeah, that's
You know?
that's actually kind of fair. So Sharp right now is scouting in the wrong direction, but sometimes what you do is you scout the close main and then you go diagonally across the map for the other close spot.
Right.
Because both of those become very rushable if they go for a Nexus first.
Yeah, and then if they're in cross spots, then you play a very different game.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be a much longer, more dramatic game.
Definitely
No
can be.
Marine.
Yeah, you have to cancel it to hit your factory on time. If a probe is there, you generally let the Marine finish, because the probe will cost you more lost mining time than a later factory.
Oh, interesting. I actually didn't know that little
Yeah,
subtle thing. Cool.
that's how the economy works. Sharp seems to have taken SCVs off gas for the most part here. Sharp has a lot of different openers in this matchup. A lot of players just will do very regular expands, but he actually does FD Terran sometimes. Sometimes that can come and bite him in the butt too, though. Doesn't look like it could be anything else, or he'd probably have another SCV on gas by now. So either just a factory expander, possibly an FD Terran, which would be a fake double, where you just you make it look like you're getting really aggressive, but it's mostly Marines and like a tank and like a few mines. You know, you just push the goons around a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe
Fake double. It's funny because it was called the fake double for so long, but in reality, it's like when the Protoss saw it, you go, "Oh, he's expanding."
Yeah.
But when it initially came out, it would totally throw Protosses
Yeah.
off. You'd get them to cancel the Nexus and do all this stuff, and then you'd come back and be like, "What?"
It was grossly powerful
Yeah.
when it first came out.
Well, Protoss have this problem where some of the Terran rushes are so strong that the Protoss has to completely and totally react to every part of it, or they're going to die. Now, okay, I was about to bring up if this SCV isn't spotted, he'll get a scout later on, but good job there with that Dragoon. The location of that Cybernetics core is pretty important because a lot of players will actually run the SCV behind the minerals, in which case it's hard for the Dragoon to actually catch it.
Wow, he gets to see the Nexus timing as well.
So that paid off. He scouted everything.
Completely full information. Now, Sharp is sitting on top of his ramp, so you can't actually tell what he's doing here. Where's his depot? Okay, there it is. You know, if you're sitting up there right now, Rain should still be blind as to is this something aggressive or is it a command center. A lot of Terrans will just build the command center on low ground right now, and make a bunker, and that's a very, very safe way to expand. But it's nice to mix in builds where you're expanding with your command center on the high ground because it can scare the Protoss quite a bit.
So we've got 2 more gateways coming out. So this is actually quite an old way to play. It's still very strong.
This is the safest build order in the game for Protoss.
If you want to, you can die to 2 factory, but if it's not a 2 factory, you're fine.
And even against 2 factory, you can just pull away from your Nexus and you can't be broken on your ramp.
Right.
So it turns into a weird game from there. But this build can basically live through everything. 3 Gateway Observer.
Yeah. If you wanted to learn a build, guys, what Rain's doing is the one to take. The rushes can be tricky to handle, but if you go into a macro game. Now, what you want to do is, as soon as possible, get an observer in there and scout what the Terran's doing. You know, are you going to see an armory, another command center? Are there just more factories coming down?
That was a great probe scout, seeing exactly what's up. And this is the 2 factory after command center play. It's quite a strong pressure build.
This is a quick push build.
Kind of. It's a little bit of pressure, and it is an attack. Like you do go across the map with it. Against this build that he's up against, I don't think he's going to find any damage. But for instance, if they went for a quick Reaver, you're going to get there right before the Reaver is out. And if they went for a fast 3rd Nexus, a lot of times you can just kill it.
And this is why you see the Dragoons now coming out. You cannot have the tanks and the Vultures get right up to where your base is.
Yeah, you need to slow it down at least a little bit. Okay, so those Vultures, he actually went speed first here.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh my god, he gets it.
Good block on the ramp.
And he actually has mines and speed. Very nicely done.
Which means no siege mode here.
Ooh, they actually don't do that good of a job.
He did that perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and the tank bounced off this statue.
Now Sharp is really far behind from this.
And the Observer's perfectly placed so he can continue to pursue and take out these mines. The Vultures will run around for a counterattack.
Yeah.
We don't have a shot of what's back there, but here's the problem is that I don't know if siege mode is done yet. Dragoons can just run up there. You know. Yeah. I mean, he can actually just go for a kill move here.
This is incredibly bad for Sharp. Okay, good micro to pull it back.
You know, we've had this going on in KSL where we see Terrans cutting corners so much that it's like, okay, buddy, if you make one slip up, you're dead.
Well, this build catches a lot of builds. Like, if he's going for anything that's much more tech-heavy or a 3rd base, like I mentioned, this build is fantastic against that. But against the very safe builds like what Rain did, as you can see, you can just lose your entire army. Everything can go wrong. And
by the way,
this is insane damage.
yeah, I mean, brilliantly done here by Rain. He handled the rush so well. I think when we saw that second tank bounce off the statue,
Yeah.
that was the death sentence.
If you lose your 3 tanks, you're like pretty much done.
Yeah.
Even if you lose 2 tanks, because first off, if you're losing all that, like that isn't what the build wants to hit. It's really too bad, and he kind of miscontrolled. You could see he was heavily laying mines in the natural, trying to get something done, maybe set the vultures in the main. He's always very focused on things like that, and that's part of his power and part of his weakness. Where if he does get up that ramp with those 2 vultures, he is going to kill 10 probes maybe, right?
Absolutely.
And then suddenly he's in great shape.
When you see these fights happening, one thing about StarCraft is that it can look sometimes, even though we all know it's a very fast and difficult game, it can look slow. StarCraft 1 fights move at a slower pace than StarCraft 2 fights do, which allows you to do a lot more with the micro. And so Rain handled that so perfectly that the counterattack actually snowballed the game into a loss.
Well, he microed his natural fine, and that's where Sharp was spending all of his micro energy, and then all the Marines died, a tank got picked off in the main part of the push,
Yeah.
and then the tank bounced off that little statue thing.
And he skipped siege mode. He went for vulture
Yeah,
speed.
you wanted speed and mines.
And mines, right? Because he, like you were saying, if he gets in there, he gets to do that damage. But he doesn't do that damage. And so then, without siege mode, Dragoons actually beat tanks without siege mode. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, game number 4, don't go away.
지금 저그 6시로 러커 들어볼 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야. 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무시는데 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 저 선수 한두 경기를 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 어? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자, 상대 안마랑 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 지지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 박하닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
아이, 간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어몽.
도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지. 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야, 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당에서 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
에이, 귀 빠지게.
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용준.
쇼입니다 마니. 상태에서 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱커 일본은 센즈가 됐고 일본은 통통통통통통통. 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제.
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한, 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네. 밀고 들어가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네.
이번
이거
거보다
이겨요.
달리는 거예요?
오! 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
Welcome back to the KSL, boys and girls. Right now, Rain is up 2-1. These are really short PvTs.
Yeah, there's
I
been
thought
a lot
this-
of aggression.
I thought this was going to be like a 2.5-hour series, and we're already on the map, Eddie.
I mean, it can still go pretty long. Eddie is definitely a map where Protoss can be pretty aggressive, but you know, it's not. I think it's not bad in a macro game for Terran as well. Like it's not too hard to get 4 bases going. But the early game can be a little bit tricky. You do have that low ground main base. It is a 4-player map as well. A lot of Protosses in the past would go for Nexus first here, and we haven't seen that yet from Rain. He's kept it a couple aggressive games and a very defensive game.
I think that if there was a game that really messed with Sharp, it would be Game 3. Game 2, hey man, you lose to stuff like that. Everybody loses to stuff like that. Flash loses to stuff like that. Jesus, Flash has never lost a game. Blah, 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 blah. Said some guy who has eyes that looks like a pet rock. You have no idea. He's never even lost a game. Spit drool coming out of his mouth. He's so good, I can't believe it. All right, calm down. Calm down. Let's just talk about the game like an objective human being. God. Anyways, what I was saying is Game 3 is frustrating because he had a good... There's nothing worse than people that are just too fanatical about Flash. Like, okay.
Eyes look like a pet rock.
Yeah, he's moving around, not connected. Ooh. His head's shaking as he says it. Spit bubbles on the side of his mouth. Like, okay, calm down, Flash fan. We get it.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah,
he's good. I get it. Okay, we need to talk about this game in objective fashion. All right. Now, Game 3, though. I mean, we saw that Sharp really tried to come out and do this really technical attack where he slips vultures in there, and it completely turned on his head, and the Dragoons marched through and killed him, and that is a very tilting loss. Glad you liked that, Artosis.
Oh, that's good. I didn't hear anything you said since then. Okay. Okay, just point out that
He's
Sharp
like, now I'm going
is
to show my
before.
next sign. It's like, what is this? It's Rain? What? I don't know the
So
meaning.
it's a Protoss looking at like a fried fish thing and talking about like it's delicious.
Our producer's telling us that the fish is supposed to be sharp. Does he like eat fish on stream or something like that?
No, I think it has to do with his name. So his name is Jogi Suk, and the Jogi may be like a fish word, right?
I'll say yeah. You know, I'll just go with it. I actually don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if any words.
Is shellfish, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm not as big.
I don't know if that guy's
I'm not as
running
big
a
into
keyboard.
seafood, so my Korean vocabulary with fish is like pretty low.
Sure.
Excuse me. What are you giggling about?
Well, I was just thinking of the poker reference where you like call people fish, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, what that sign must mean. I mean, the Terran player's a fish. Yeah, it's like it's fishing hard. All right. Anyways, time for that factory. We haven't really seen what either player is up to as of yet. This is a map where you will go for bunker, no matter what.
Yeah, you need to get control of your high ground because, you know, it's one thing if you're on a map like Fighting Spirit where, let's say the Protoss starts to win a fight on the low ground, you can retreat to high ground and try to get a few more attacking units and then try to push back down. If you're pushed onto the low ground, that's it.
Yeah, if
You
you
get
go to the
buried
low
down
ground
there.
against ranged goons, the odds of you
have
winning
fun
that game is
getting up,
almost
yeah.
zero.
Yeah.
You have to, like, if you don't have a dropship on the way to their base when that happens, you're done.
Yeah, it's so you need to absolutely get a foothold here.
Yeah, but we'll see him do that. You see him rallying Marines up for now. He scouts both the close ones first, so he's going to scout very late into Rain's main base. That's all right, though. It doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary is occurring right now. He's going to block scouting. Oh, okay. Cool.
And so the probe gets chased away here. We're going to have that CC come down. I can't believe how short these games have been, but Rain's really picked two super cheesy builds, and then Rain dunked on Sharp when he tried to do an attack.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, that 2 factory after Command Center, it's a really good build. It's like because it's kind of like you're doing everything at once, but if you hit like the build that Rain just did, it can be a little bit unforgiving. Like you have to figure it out and turn around.
Yeah, Rain's build is also, it's kind of like a hold everything build.
Yeah.
You can die to 2-fact, but like Artoz was saying, you could try to run up your ramp. And
if you do that build, right, and you're against like a Last or a Flash, and they went Academy Armory right away,
yeah,
then suddenly you're like, oh, they're going to have a very strong push, and I'm not being very greedy, you know? So there's ups and downs to it for sure. But you need to vary your build orders quite a bit.
Yeah,
at the pro level, that like for these players at the absolute top of the world, that's very important to vary what you do.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid playing with my brother, we were just trying to figure out, like, okay, so what's the best build? Let's figure this game out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, this is a little like 14-year-old tasteless, but I'm thinking, okay, so like let's just try to figure it out. You and me, we're smart. We'll find the best build, and then we'll win all the game. You know what I mean?
Wow,
like,
you guys were even more arrogant than me.
Yeah,
I thought I was the most arrogant.
No, we were. Well, the thing is, you know, you look online and you see somebody with 54 wins and like 2 losses. You're like, okay, so we're gonna just do what he does. Let's find that guy.
Yeah.
He's got, and then we watch him play. We'd have to schmooze in chat rooms, and eventually we could allow to watch one of these guys play. And he'd do one thing one game, we'd be writing it out, and then in game 2 he starts to do something completely different, and we went, oh god, oh god, the game is more complicated than we realized.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this game, we see Sharp with a quick speed, which is it's actually gaining a little bit of popularity to just open speed with a bunker and try to run around and kill probes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get in, it's crazy, right? I mean, not a whole lot done. Sharp went for the eBay and for a turret, so you can see he's playing a little bit scared right now.
Well, I think he almost has to, right? Oh, here comes that armory.
Yeah, he's playing very carefully. He thinks something's coming, but really nothing is.
Whoa, this is like, what?
It's funny because...
Okay, that's enough, Rain.
Yeah.
You got to cut it. He just has to stop. Look at this.
I told you, he learned from those A Protosses that I lose to, man.
I can't believe he just got both those mines.
No, that was wild.
He was in between the 2 mines there, Tosis.
And they both came up. And
I looked
got
at this
both.
and was about to say, this is literally the worst position these Dragoons could come in. I was halfway through saying it, and he's like, nope, nope.
Yeah. He's good.
Dragoons firing from the hip there.
Yeah. But, this game, I like Rain's position, to be honest. I look at this, and it's not that anything is terribly wrong with where Sharp's at, but he went for turrets, and he's going for, like, a macro play. And what Rain did, like, Rain just went for kind of the latest Nexus that's not a cheese at, like, 4 minutes 15 or 4 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And so, Sharp, look at how defensive this is, this posture. So, like, if you look at this, he's built 2 turrets in an engineering bay. That is basically a command center, right? It's pretty close.
That's actually a good way to put it.
So he could have it, like, this is right now is when you start your 3rd command center.
So the first observer is about to fly into the main here. Let's see what he spots. He saw the CC up there, right? I'm sorry.
No, there isn't a
eBay.
CC.
No, the way the eBay was placed, my brain automatically says that's the command center just on the mini map.
Well, that's the thing. It would have been if he wasn't playing scared, but he is.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's better to play scared and not die.
So, Rain is going to take a 3rd base pretty quickly here. This was the exact same build as game 3, right, from Rain? It looks like it is, right?
Very close. The Nexus in Game 3 was quicker.
Okay.
So
okay.
this was
Same-
kind of the
same
latest
idea.
Nexus that's not cheesy.
This is the Protoss Captain Careful build.
Oh, okay.
You
So
kinda-
he's actually going up to 4 facts right now.
Yeah.
Now, you can do, like, there's 4 factory, 5 factory, and 6 factory pushes. This is too late for a 4 factory, so I think we're going to see him make a command center as well. Like, I think we might see, like, Starport Command Center.
Yeah.
But let's see. I'm actually very interested to see where he goes. Okay, so he is scanning some. It doesn't really see anything there, and he... Where was the other scan? I heard 2. Not sure. Let's see. I think, yeah, that should be a command center. So this is very, very safe play from Sharp.
Oh!
Like, he should be able to take his base without any problem.
Gosh, Rain is really good at just being aggressive with the Dragoons.
Just kind of poking in.
So he sees the placement of the 3rd CC. Now, what Rain is setting up here... Oh my god, if he just gets this...
Is he actually going to commit to this?
Well, sometimes if they're just out like this, you'd be surprised what you can kill as Protoss.
He has lost like 8 goons to 3 tanks right now.
Okay, I don't actually understand. It's gonna work.
Is it?
Okay, dude.
Was
that was so hard to follow when we saw that attack.
It was
coming.
such a strange attack.
The thing is, if the Dragoons can hit the tanks, that's all you need is Protoss. If the Dragoons have like vultures in front of them, or they're bumping into each other, or there's mines there, then the Terran's going to win. But if it's just the tanks, even if they're all in siege mode, it's crazy what Dragoons can do to them. It's 8 Dragoon shots to kill a tank. So if you have 4 Dragoons, they each fire twice. You have 2 Dragoons, they each fire, 4 times. But that's not a long time. When you think of how long it takes between siege tank shots. But yeah, that's one of those moments, and we'll see this occasionally with really good Protoss players, or even me who plays the race is like, no. And then he goes in and it actually works. And keep in mind, the Dragoons are a constant unit being produced. The tanks come out very slowly. The tanks are the most precious unit out of for both races on both sides in this phase of the game. The Vulture's expendable. The Dragoon and the Zealot are a little bit more expendable. The tank, you're building up to that the entire time.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's just the fact that if this was him trying to take a 3rd base earlier off of 2 factories with 1 add-on, and you do a move like that, I think it is basically the strongest thing you can ever do. But when you have 4 factories, 2 add-ons, and both of you are taking it a little bit slow, I think that this was actually fine for Sharp, even though he lost some tanks there, because he wants everything to be a little bit slower, I think, right? He's got two add-ons.
I basically agree with you.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was really that good from Rain.
These super quick engagements, PvT for the Protoss, it really is, it can be dangerous, man, if you mess that up and really lose everything. So, by the way, we're going to finally have some Arbiter tech here in KSL. So this was throughout most of PvT. Throughout most of PvT, this was considered kind of the baseline proper late game play. Carriers are always kind of viewed as a strong play, but it was sort of gimmicky, I guess people would think. It was a little bit cheesy. Okay. It seemed like you had to squeeze the carriers out at a certain time. It wasn't completely safe to do. Things have kind of switched now. Now, hold on.
Oh, my God. You cannot lose this command center.
Where is the rest of whatever Terran has? It's just covered up by the minimap right now?
Well, he has a dropship that he's microing at the same time, so... A little bit sloppy on this. Yeah, this is not
really
doing
bad.
that much.
I think Sharp's going to die, guys.
Losing this command center is
God.
the worst thing that could ever happen. Like, I think everything that's happened is still okay as long as you don't lose this command center. Everything is recoverable except for not having a 3rd base very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4th base coming up, and he is going into that Arbiter tech, as you were pointing out.
So yeah, Arbiter tech throughout most of StarCraft history was kind of the proper way to handle late game. Terran units, if we go into a point where both sides are maxed out, the Terran army is better, especially with upgrades. But the Arbiter is something that can allow for an equalizer. Stasis can freeze out chunks of the strongest parts of the Terran's army. And then just having Cloak is very helpful.
Yeah, and Recall is a great way to deal damage
and
get it at someone that's out of position.
Okay, now is this going to work?
It actually might. There's nothing in front of these siege tanks here.
Yeah,
so
the
that's a bit of
Vulture
an
should have been
issue.
further forward here.
Some decent targeting, though, going down, I think, here from Sharp. He's actually plastering quite a few goons. Wow,
Okay,
those
this is
mines,
a
fantastic as well.
Completely bungled attack there.
Well, wait. Oh, okay, no, there's a couple mines up there. Okay, a couple vultures, not a big deal. He can deal with that. I was going to say, if all that happened and the 4th base got killed before it warped in, then suddenly I'm liking Sharp's position quite a bit more. But Rain has been so aggressively trading this game.
So, we continue to see these macro cycles come out. And what Protoss is gearing up to do is eventually go for a recall here. The Vessel versus the Arbiter is sort of the mini game of late game PvT. You want to get the recall and or the stasis. The Terran wants to get the EMP.
Yeah,
which of course negates all the energy from the Arbiter.
He is going for the recall, by the way. So I think that is a great play with how much he's been trading. Oh, he actually turned it around. Huh. Maybe because he saw the dropship, he thought maybe he got spotted there. But yeah, anyways, if he hits a recall, that can be very, very strong. Sharp has all of his units kind of out in the front. And then you were talking about how they can be a great equalizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Like, if it's just gateway units, eventually upgrades and macro kills that, no matter what. But when you start getting stasises out, the Terran army has to be somewhat clumped. It can't just be spread. So stasis it deals with so many siege tanks at once, and that is the primary target.
So, Terran gets to keep the 3rd, by the way. That's not going to be broken unless something is recalled there. Or there's a recall in the main that pulls the defenses back, and then Protoss pounces on the 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any attacks on the 3rd. I think this is a situation where you try to keep them off of 4th.
Yeah, this is... sometimes in StarCraft, you'll get into a spot where you say, okay, you know what, it's not worth it to try to kill the base. It's hard to kill bases in StarCraft 1. If they're well defended, it's a pretty tall order. Now, seems to me like Rain has basically finished putting the puzzle pieces together to have the proper late game army.
Yeah.
Now you get more nexuses. You want to take another main, like the top right, for instance. You want to put gateways down there, and this is where you're basically trying to force the Terran, to cycle through all of his minerals, and you just outlast him. The Protoss becomes kind of like the Zerg. They're gobbling up the map. They're taking bases. They're out expanding the other race. And Terran is trying to come through with a powerful push and close it out.
Couple things. Rain invested in observer speed and has a really good spread of them right now. Number 2 is, look at this. I love that he's mixed in the High Templars. Stasis alone is really, really good, but if you can add in some Psystorm with that, it's amazing. So that sniping those High Templars is going to be very important.
Okay, so this is like trapped like an ant farm right now. The rest of the vultures are going to be picked off, and we are finally going to have a long PvT, considering all these games are really short here.
Yeah, no, it's looking nice right now, but I am a little bit nervous for Sharp. Like, Rain has the full toolbox, but it seems like Sharp might be waiting for 3-2. He's got 2 on. Is he actually going to push out? Because if he pushes out at this supply while he's taking a 4th against Psystorm and Arbiter, I'm nervous about that. I could see that going wrong.
You know, one thing about this map is the 4th and the island are actually quite accessible.
Yeah.
You know, with EMP, it's because I know that, yeah, you could recall it, but like you could EMP that if you're really on top of your game.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't.
By the way, statistically, this is, if you have a long game, PvT, this is actually the longest matchup in the game. TVT occasionally, we'll get to these
long
weird...
TVTs,
long
I would
TVTs.
say. Oh, it matters the map, though.
Yeah, but on 4-player maps, this is about, you get to see just how long a StarCraft game can go.
Okay,
hold on.
He's setting up for a recall. That is a huge move when the Terran is moving out.
2 vessels out there. Is there a vessel at the 3rd?
Okay, he has a spotter there. How many turrets does he actually have?
It's an Arbiter. It never dies,
God. Man. Yeah, you need 3 turrets firing at it consistently as it flies over. Oh, you know what? He's actually
Oh my
got a
god,
good
he's
amount
got
of
the
units
shuttle
here.
with the Templars in it too.
Oh my, this can be awesome to have that, but
And he gets a second recall and it's so sick!
that was a really good move. But that recall is over on the side, so all the units rallying down can actually kill it from the high ground. This is a pretty solid hold.
I don't know, man.
Some
These are
good
pretty
storms. Good storms.
Now here's the thing. This is sort of like a weird cycle you're trying to kind of repeat over and over again until the Terran mines out. Now notice he's going to get the armory, not bad.
Yeah, that's really good.
As Terran begins to push out again, once this is finally cleaned up, and remember, you can't select your whole army. Here you only have control groups of 12, so it's like you're really taxed to try to push through it and kill off this small number of Dragoons, which they're doing a lot of damage. There is going to be another recall eventually coming here. Basically the whole game for both sides leads up to whether or not the Protoss executes the first recall, if you're both playing a conservative route.
It's such an important aspect of this.
And in this case, Rain did pull it off. And so now, as the army is vacuumed back into the main base, you see that Rain then pushes out here and reasserts control of the middle of the map. Now, I guess Sharp's going to just ditch this base and go north.
Yeah, I think it's the right play. You're never going to save that right now. You know, right now Rain is playing just so quickly. He's all over the place. He's really mobile. But this counterattack, if he can wipe out this area, it's really strong. But there's a lot of gateways up there already. This is going to make it way more difficult.
Yeah, actually, well, hold on a second. I guess Rain can actually run up and wipe this army out. But, you know, if Sharp takes out the upper right, actually, I'm sorry, guys. If I look at the minimap, the bottom left is being taken, too. So,
yeah, Rain is just starting to expand absolutely everywhere, but Sharp has great upgrades. He does have some EMPs ready. Let's see what he can hit. He hits that EMP at least. Not before his stasis does go off. Of course, this is going to be cleared.
As long as the Nexus lives, actually, almost more important is the gateways. If the gateways are still there, then basically...
It's just so hard to kill this base.
If Protoss can get gateways in the bottom left, then you're in this position where it's like, okay, where are you going to attack and win? If you take out the upper right, they still have the bottom left. It also means that the Terran can always be surrounded from any angle.
Okay, now he does... Oh, my God. 5 cannons there. Rain is so good. If that was like 2 cannons, the Vultures will just kill it.
Only in this game would you say, wow, 5 cannons, you're so good. But it's true. And so from here, I believe Sharp, as long as Protoss doesn't overextend, and it looks like he's not going to overextend, you can start to thin the army out. So now Protoss goes back. Uh-oh, don't do it, Templar.
You know, something like a dropship could be useful. I know that you're trying to make as many vessels as possible, but both of the French expansions of Rain are definitely droppable. He's just trying to make something happen with his Vultures right now, which I can't really blame for either. Look at this. Nicely running in here and getting all the High Templar. Definitely worthwhile. And all this is kind of buying time as well. Rain is chasing around these Vultures. He's trying to minimize damage. That's giving Sharp time to macro up again. He does have that 4th command there. Oh, the dropship. This is a great play.
Cool.
This is a great play.
It's like, I'll get the 1 injured tank. But it is a Master Sergeant, according to the tab in the
7
bottom
kills?
right. Yeah.
Not bad. How many kills do you have, Private Tasteless?
None.
Yeah, exactly. You might not be in jail, but you don't have my respect either.
Artos, if I was a unit in RTS game, I probably wouldn't be able to attack.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to mine or cast spells either. I'm like just a neutral roaming critter on the map. So, to be frank, Rain basically brought the game to where he wanted it to be. And this is what a lot of PvTs look like. Now, Sharp has basically one other option here. He could try to sandbag the progress of Rain as he stretches towards the bottom left.
Now, he might kill this Nexus with 1 siege tank. If all his shots start hitting, like, that's a really big kill there.
Oh, is he going to recall?
He might actually
Easy,
stasis
it.
He might stasis it.
Oh!
Oh my God. He gets that Nexus. You know what a clutch play this is? You know how many minerals he just prevented from being mined during that and then also killed the Nexus?
You know what I just noticed?
What?
Starcraft's been part of my life for more than half my life. I never noticed that the Terran units, they go up in rank. Look at the Protoss. They don't have any ranks.
They don't have ranks?
Yeah, look, that SV's a private.
Well, they'd all start as super.
SV's a private. He's going to click on a tank. Click on something else. Observer. Can't hear me.
Yeah,
Look,
no, it just
he's
says
got nothing.
kills.
Yeah. What is this? only the humans have that?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you didn't notice this either, because I just now found that out.
Why did I notice that? When I click on Protoss units, I close
Because
my
Artosis,
eyes.
that's what you do when you're trash talk. You're like, aha, my Master Sergeant tank killed all of your workers.
Oh, he kills the 4th base here, so obviously that is pretty darn good. Oh, the Zealots get on top of some tanks here
Wait a
as
minute.
well.
That one's a Master Sergeant. It's got 0 kills.
Well, the Siege Tank is a Sergeant already, Tasteless.
No, it's a Master Sergeant when it comes out.
Oh. Yeah, it should be. Siege Tanks are good.
And that Goliath is only a 1st Sergeant? I've never actually paid attention to this. What is going on?
Yeah, you better go home and do your homework.
Yeah. How am I even allowed to cast this
Well,
game?
look at this. When you click on the Protoss Dragoon, it says Protoss Dragoon, but you click on the Siege Tank, it's not a Protoss Siege Tank.
What?
Hi, I'm Tasteless.
I do say
I played
that.
this game for 20 years.
I do sound like that.
Yeah.
So
It's pet rock eyes. Okay. Sharp is moving up for an attack.
Okay.
He's in rough shape here. If he can take a battle, though, maybe he can push forward and kill some more bases. He is way down in supply. He doesn't have a lot of minerals left at his base. Picks off that Arbiter. That's a good kill.
Keep in mind that these super upgraded Terran units are way stronger than the Protoss units. So the supplies, it can be a little bit misleading here.
Yeah, 3-1-1 ain't bad for Protoss, but yeah, definitely 3-2 is stronger.
Now, keep in mind, Sharp did actually snipe off the Nexus in the bottom left, so it really is just this upper right location. And if Terran can get a foothold, it probably have to be about a screen up from this, and the Protoss can't break it, that's it. Now here comes this giant attack coming down here from Rain. He's going to try to surround. I don't think there's enough Zealots here.
Yeah, Sharp is actually going to win this battle. If he had a stasis during that, maybe. But look, Rain wanted to attack there because he did have that high ground still. He doesn't want for Sharp to get a foothold. Look at this. Another group of Vultures coming up, which means the next round of Zealots won't be as effective.
Okay, now we got to push over here. This could actually maybe this won't work. I think this is going to get bashed in from the other side.
I think so.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a mistake.
This is
There's
only
tanks.
2 siege tanks, though,
Yeah,
so...
But every siege tank's pretty important at this point in time. You want to have a huge clump because it just pulverizes the Protoss army before they can really start to do damage.
Another round of Zealots just came out. Yeah, Sharp his army is really small right now. He only could have held on to a 4th base at some point during this game, but never really got that going. You can see how lopsided his economy is right now. 2K gas. There's nothing really to spend that on.
Okay. They're going to come down now and hit this location. Now, the siege tanks were not in siege mode here, or at least the majority of them were not. So this gives Protoss an opportunity to try to close in. There's the stasis to lock out some of the tanks.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Sharp right now. The tank count getting so low. His supply lower than 100. And
GG.
that's it. Rain advances and becomes the overall favorite of the tournament, if you ask me.
So
very well played series.
What's
here
our
for Rain.
race balance here for the Final Four, Artosis?
Well, let's just let me
How
call
many-
my
how
friend
many
here.
Zergs?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
David? Hi. Yeah. No, it's Artosis. Yeah. No. Yeah. That toast. You know. I know. I have your number. Well, what's the racial distribution in KSL? 4 Protoss in the top 4. When was our last balance patch? 1999, you say?
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Looks like it's we're gonna have that in this season at KSL. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, the Protoss players are really, really strong right now. If you look at who's up there, it's like our 3 new badass Protosses and then our oldest Protoss.
Yeah, Stork actually doing well in this tournament. It's really exciting, but you can also see clearly Rain just untouchable in this matchup. He's got incredible cheese. If you mess up at all, like we saw in Game 3 where Sharp was a little bit too aggressive, didn't pull it off perfectly, it got punished.
Yeah.
And then you go to a late game with Arbiters. We never even had carriers used in the series, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Probably the most typical tech we see nowadays in PvT, at least televised PvT.
I feel like that's been off. Like Arbiters are a little bit better, but
yeah, well, it seems like carriers got really trendy for a while there.
Yeah,
but
they did.
Rain
They did.
exhibiting why normally Arbiter tech is like a proper way to play the late game.
You know, that last game was really, really nice, by the way. And I feel like it could have gone Sharp's way if he had been able to stop that very first Arbiter. You know, it got in, it had about 43 hit points left. So, you know, if he just had like one more turret sitting there, he would have been able to snipe that before it cut into his main base. And that really slowed him down. It slowed down his upgrades. It slowed down his macro. It slowed down his attacks. This was a time where he needed to get out on the map. So well done by Rain to get that Arbiter in. But I feel like that was really kind of the turning point in that game. Sharp was always on his back foot from there.
Yeah. I think we're going to go to an interview with Rain in a little bit here. We might throw our results up on screen as well. But this is going to be fun to see how these guys all approach PvP. They're all very good, but they do have different avenues they tend to take in this. I do think it should be Stork versus Rain in the finals. It seems like even Minnie and Snow kind of mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. The old versus the new. But here is our match result. Rain with a 3-1 victory over Sharp. Very similar to what we saw in Snow versus Sulky.
Right.
And you know what? That gives us a rematch of ASL Season 5 Finals
Hell
in the
yes.
round of 4. That is nice. I can't wait to see what Snow has for us. Going into this next round.
So,
Does he have some updated PvP like his other matchups?
So, guys, we're going to be back next week. We're on Thursday and Friday. We're close to the end of this tournament, which, by the way, the finals will be held on a weekend. I believe it's going to be on Saturday.
네, 자 KSL
So
시즌
here's our,
3의
player
마지막
now being
4강
interviewed.
진출자 정윤종 선수를 만나기 위해서 이곳에 왔습니다. 4강 진출
So,
축하드립니다.
Rain advances.
감사합니다.
Congratulations.
감사합니다.
Thank you. Thank you.
자, 지금 마지막으로 또 프로토스가 또 올라오게 됐어요. 가을이
네.
아닌 여름을 찾은 프로토스들이 굉장히 지금 강세를 보이고 있는데 마지막에 또 프로토스의 명함을 올린 각오 한번 들어볼까요?
일단
So only Protoss
제가
here in
올라갈
the
줄
finals.
몰랐는데
You
올라가게
advance. How do you
돼서
feel?
또 전 경기에 또 윤철이가 이겨가지고 4토스가 됐더라고요. 그래서 좀 약간 걱정인데 저도 일단 그래도 저는 올라가야
I think it's because
돼야
Snow won in
되기만
that
했기
previous
때문에
game.
네, 열심히 했습니다.
네, 그 간절함이 묻어났기
Played very
때문에
well.
그 경기력을 또 소화했기 때문에 이런 결과가 나온 것으로 보입니다. 자, 지난 시즌 4강에
You
복수와
also
함께
mentioned to get to
또
semifinals, you have to
3연속
train hard and
4강에
practice hard for this.
진출했어요.
네.
이 부분에 있어서 소감 어떠십니까?
일단 그 PC방 예선하러 안 가도 돼가지고 되게 편하고요. 사실 기석이한테 많이 졌었는데 졌을 때뭐
Since I was seeded, I didn't have to
스코어라든지
get to the
아니면
qualifiers.
경기력이 제가 결코 나쁘지가
Excuse
않았어요.
me, I'm happy I don't have to go through qualifiers for next
이렇게
season.
지고 경기력도 제가 좀 집중하지 못해가지고 지는 경기가 많아서 충분히 제가 집중만 한다면 이길 수 있는 상대라고 생각을 해가지고 했는데 오늘 이긴 것 같아요.
네, 이래서 꾸준하게 4강에 진출하게 되면서 좋은 성적을 또 만들어냈습니다. 자, 이제 저는 굉장히 궁금해지는 게
네.
2세트 때 사실 전진 게이트를 또 정찰을 당했어요. 이때
네.
프로모가 추가로 나오는 판단이 굉장히 좋았거든요.
He just talking about how he
나선
focused on the
판단,
game,
어떤
prepared
방법으로
hard,
만들게 된 거죠?
and brought what he
사실
practiced paid off.
제가 좀 약간 요즘에 연습을 많이 안 하는 이미지예요. 이미지도 그렇고 약간 많이 소홀을 했었는데 최근에 기석이랑 이제 또 한다고 해가지고 많이 준비를 했었거든요. 그래서 김태형 선수랑 많이 연습을
I haven't been
했는데
as active
그때 알게 된 거예요.
in the past, but for this specific match, I
전체적인
was ready.
판짜기가 좋았기 때문에 이런 결과치를 만들어낸 것 같습니다. 자, 해서 상대를 3대 1로 만들어내면서 압박까지 했고 이제 남은 상대는 모두 프로토스입니다. 사실 프로토스 대전에서 승률이
So as we
84%인가요?
said before, we've only got
잔인할
4
정도로
Protosses.
높은데
It's only
그리고
Protoss
가장
left in
경계되는
this
프로토스가 누가
tournament.
있을까요?
아무래도 지금 올라온 선수들이 다
And I didn't
까다로운데
catch the lead, but I believe it was just, what are your thoughts
그래도
on that?
푸프전은 변현재 선수가 잘한다고 생각을 항상 하고 있어가지고 만약에 한다면 결승에서 할 것 같은데
Who's the most difficult
일단
Protoss?
윤철이는 제가
Thank
꼭
you, Protoss.
이기도록 하겠습니다.
네, 이 얘기가 왜 나왔냐면 아마도 많이들 아실 겁니다. 다른 대회 그 ASL 시즌 5에서 결승에서 만났던 상대를 또 만나게 된 거거든요. 자, 장윤철 선수를 상대로 스코어는 또 어떻게
He's basically
예상하는지
said they're all difficult to
궁금합니다.
play against.
근데 윤철이도 못하는 선수가 아니기 때문에 일방적인 경기는 안 나올 것 같아요. 왜냐면
Who's asking about, his thoughts on Snow in general?
하기 때문에 한 4대
Mentioned
2나
Snow's a very strong player.
4대 3 정도로 제가 이길
So
것
it's
같아요.
definitely not going to be an easy win for him. He's going to have to
자,
put in a lot of prep.
그리고 이제 KSL 4강 징크스를 깨야 하는 상황입니다. 4강에 임하는 각오 한 마디 부탁드립니다.
사실
Your
오늘도
hopes
진짜
going
제가
towards
이길지
the semifinals.
몰랐는데 올라가게 돼가지고 약간 좀 얼떨떨하긴 한데 그래도 남은 종족전이 다
I didn't really
프로토스
expect you to the
전이어가지고 제가
semifinals.
제일 자신 있는 종족전이기도 하고 대회 때 성적도 잘 나와서 네, 꼭 우승할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 다시 한번
I'm
4강
also
진출
quite confident
축하드립니다.
playing against
아,
Protoss.
감사합니다.
네.
감사합니다.
So I'm going to prep
자,
hard. Please
굳건하게
cheer for
본인의
me.
실력을 보여주면서
Dope,
4강에
Artosis.
진출하게 된
Yeah,
선수입니다.
dope.
많은 응원
Great.
다시 한번
Well, we're
부탁드립니다.
definitely going to
자,
learn
이렇게 해서
a
4강
lot
대진이
about
확정되는데요.
PvP
대진표
in
Yes.
the next 2 weeks,
보시겠습니다.
as we are going to have up to 21 PvP maps being played. That is pretty wild. Stork going up against Mini, and then Snow against Rain. I mean, these guys are 4 of the absolute most badass Protosses in the world. I think
Crazy.
the only person missing that's active right now is Best, and that's because Stork beat him in the previous
Yeah.
round. Really.
So how unusual. We have 4 Protosses here.
You never have this in
This
StarCraft 1.
Ever. So
I know we had it in StarCraft 2 a little bit recently, but like in StarCraft 1, this is actually a snowflake of a tournament to see this at the end.
crazy stuff. So here you guys see it. We're going to be back Thursday and Friday at the designated time. That would be 7 p.m. KST.
Yeah. So make sure you tune into that. Don't forget, tomorrow during the Korean daytime at 1 p.m. we have GSL Code S.
Yeah.
Round of 16.
Also, a new episode of the Tasteless Podcast coming out on Monday.
Yes.
So get that wherever
Wonderful.
you get your podcasts.
Who's going to be on that?
Atlas, Leadcaster.
The guy who holds up the world?
That's right, the guy who holds up the world.
Whoa, I didn't even know he was real.
Yeah.
That's super sick. I can't wait to check that out.
So yeah, check that out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for GSL Code S.
Yes.
You can be with us all the time.
Definitely, we shall. It was a good day, though. Very fun games overall. I liked the PvT series quite a bit. And the last 2 PvZ games that we had, Snow and Sulky, really cool games there.
I really enjoyed it. Very impressive to see that Snow has actually got such a strong grasp on PvZ. We saw him lose so many games and not advance because of that race and that matchup. So times are changing, and we've got a lot of new, incredibly strong Protosses, and Stork mixed in. It's cool to see that he actually managed to come back and dominate. I was frankly getting pretty used to him just not winning anything.
Yeah. Well, I was always used to that. This guy was kind of like the last stepping stone for many championships, a little bit of a Silver Surfer himself. But look, I actually am really pulling for him to win this tournament. I think that would be the sickest story if out of nowhere Stork is just finding a new prime.
Yeah, well, the idea that, you know, he went from coaching and playing StarCraft 2, and then he played in some of these tournaments. Now he's a father now. He's had a kid. It's proof that actually these guys can continue to be pros and be the best basically throughout their entire lives. I mean, we might have Grandpa Tasteless and Grandpa Artosis casting a Grandpa Stork still winning tournaments. There was always this belief that...
I hope he can keep it up because I know I can.
Yeah, I mean, there was always this belief that if you got to a certain age, there's no way you could compete against younger people. And StarCraft 1 is basically proving that that's not true. And I know there's some snarky nerd who's saying, but only older people play it. That's also not true.
Oh,
If you go on the train out here, it's a lot of young people watching streams.
Oh, my God, there's
a
so
lot of
many
young people
players.
playing StarCraft 1 in PC cafes. So there's plenty of up-and-comers, but we're still seeing older pro gamers actually dominate. Yeah. And that's good for all of us. It means we can all stay good at our games.
Yeah. It's very nice to see with StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 having a lot of older pros. FGC has a lot of older pros as well. It's kind of nice. All the 1v1 games. But
the real
do you
games.
see any older pros in all those team games? I guess Counter-Strike has some
there's
very
some
older
old guys in Counter-Strike. Yeah, absolutely. But that's also a game that's
cool.
I think just slightly older than StarCraft is. So, yeah.
But do we have older players in Fortnite?
No, because only babies play that game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Lots of green and white and and blue. It's a very, you know, the colors in the game. It's everything's kind of
I haven't played.
soft and round. No, this is now I guess eventually if the game gets old enough, then you'll have old guys playing Fortnite. They'll be doing old people doing Fortnite dances.
I was sick.
I'm glad I'll be dead by then. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us here for KSL. We are loving casting both StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. You don't get any other better RTS games. Warcraft 3 as well, of course. That game is legendary, but it's cool. All these games are just going to continue on into the future.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, I think we said every single thing that
it
can be
should
said,
it,
every
but
permutation of
we
everything
can't close the
that's
show
been
out
said.
yet because the Korean commentators are still.
Thank you for joining us.
talking.
Do make sure you watch GSL tomorrow. That's it.
That's it. We are free to go. You're free to go. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. KST for the GSL Code S. Bye-bye.